Hi guys, welcome to Spiritual Soul Centre. Thank you for tuning in. So I've tuned back on here. I was doing a live video outside and I had to stop it because the maintenance people came round to the house. So the dogs was really barking. They wasn't just a little bit barking, they was really barking. So I had to stop that recording, and I've just come into the office space to be able to just check in with you guys. But there was only about 10 minutes that got missed on live. So if you did catch that, then awesome. If not, then I will just repeat a little bit of what was said in summary. I won't go into as much detail, but it was in regards to the recent full moon that we've just gone through, in regards to standing up and stepping into your truth, and also reflecting on what seeds you've planted over the past 6 months to create the current version of reality that we're living in, and what seeds that we can plant over the next couple of months to create a completely different version of reality for the future, or an alternative additional version of reality for what we want to add on. It's also about being able to reflect on how far we've come. So for myself personally, as I mentioned, I've come a long way from someone who suffered extreme mental health and couldn't get out of bed and couldn't really, didn't see much point energetically in living and what there was to each day, to now obviously be where I am and bringing the joy that I bring to others, and also the light that I bring to myself and to other people, and to just be living in that heart-spaced energy. I do feel very proud, and I do feel very proud to have come here and to have achieved what I have achieved, and to be in this place where I'm at now, energetically and physically. I've just noticed the state of the room around me because I just ran upstairs quickly, but you will have to excuse me. There's Halloween decorations over there, there's a bowl there, there's a whole mess, but this is the room that's being transformed right now from office into / baby room. So it's a bit of a mess on a declutter, and obviously all the Halloween decorations are going. So please do excuse that. Yeah, so also it's about reflecting on whether or not we are still living in old patterns and programs such as people pleasing and trying to make everyone else feel better, trying to remove or transmute their emotions, trying to kind of make people feel like their situation and emotion is not as bad, and almost taking that and transmutating that and processing that in a way that negatively affects us and that drains us. But as a light worker and an energy worker, we kind of have this thing in us mindset where we feel obliged or responsible to help other people all the time and to help them with that emotion, and to almost adopt that emotion as our own emotion, to then try and transmute that off instead of them themselves dealing with that. But what that does create sometimes is a sense of codependency. So where that person's going to always rely on you to help them transmute that emotion. It can create a toxic dynamic of resentment and overwhelm, because the person that's transmuting is always taking on that burden of emotional dumpage. So literally just packaging all that emotional trauma onto someone. It can also create such an overwhelm for the individual that's doing it that it's just completely energetically draining, and there is no benefit to the relationship and the bond if that's what's continuously happening. Now, we can still maintain that bond and relationship if we enforce boundaries in place, and if we actually make it clear that we are not going to be available to be shit dumped on for emotions, and we're not going to be there to take that emotion or adopt that emotion as our own just because someone else is feeling it. And we have to make sure that on a mind, body, soul level, we're not allowing people to physically project their emotions onto us in our environment, to mentally know that we don't have to lower to that vibration or adopt that mentality, and to spiritually protect ourselves and shield ourselves against any form of energetic vibration that's not centered to our heart space, so that we're not feeling a drop in our auric field. And you can sometimes feel guilty or almost like that you're doing something wrong, by not doing this because you're so used to doing it. And I think it's something that we do have to be aware of, is in terms of, we're not here to just take everyone's shit and transmute everyone's shit just because we're light workers. Our job is not to just remove and release any negative emotion and to take that away from anyone else. That's not our job in every single aspect of the sense. Our job is to work when we feel called to work, to transmute when we feel called to transmute, to heal when we feel called to, not necessarily out of responsibility, burden and obligation, because it's something we've always done, and it's something we've done to fit in, and it's something we've done to try and feel like we're living up to a soul potential, when in reality there is much more beneficial ways we can be doing this for the mind, body and soul, to actually help us rather than hinder us. So I do think it's important to recognize and to also put up an energetic shield against people that you are physically around that are projecting their lower vibrational energies and negativity onto you, because you don't have to accept that, you don't have to allow that in your energy field or in your home or in your space, and you definitely don't have to adopt and um, join on that energy. So yeah, so obviously it's not our job to transmute that emotion, it's not our job to be a punching bag, and it is now our kind of energy field to kind of reclaim what's ours and reclaim our own auric field, to be able to step into a vibration of heart space alignment, which means that we also have like a love for self more than anyone. We have self-love and self-prioritization, to know that we're allowed to say no, we're allowed to put a boundary in place, and we're allowed to create new dynamics with people, to know that if that relationship and current existing bond and energetic frequency is not aligning with us, then we're allowed to put that foot down in place and change whatever it was that was not benefiting us and the frequency. So I'm going to pick some cards today and connecting with you guys. It's a bit annoying that I've lost half of that other video because there was some good stuff on there. But, oh well, it is what it is. But it didn't get saved when I ended the live stream abruptly. So we quickly covered it at the beginning, but not necessarily in as much detail. However, those that were meant to receive it did receive it. Okay. So I'm going to pick some of them, and I'm also going to pick a couple of my tarot cards too. You picked it for me, did you, son? Okay. Please do excuse any background noise of the neighbours. I had to have the window open because it's quite warm in here. Okay. I feel like we have a message from the stars wanting to come in. A message from the T's, a message from higher dimensional beings, specifically a hybrid race, what I call sorry about that, we had a technical glitch, which was interesting, the time in which we had that. So yeah, I do feel there's a message coming in from the ETs and from the higher galactics and from the star beings. So the star beings are extra dimensionals of bodies of light that I perceive in iridescent rainbow colours, and they do have stars for eyes sometimes, or star frequencies as they're coming through. And they are working with the Lyran energies, what I feel, and the angels. And also working through the animals of Earth to connect in with the humans. But I do feel that they are working in combination with multiple dimensional beings at the moment to stabilize the timelines and to create a higher dimensional world that's on a stable level, because we keep shifting and the timeline keeps being attacked. So, and not necessarily attacked, attempted to be changed. So they keep having to adjust the frequencies of the timeline and to monitor the adjustments of the timeline. The Lyrans are really, really, really on guard, like watching at the moment and observing. So there is definitely a sense of protection energy coming forth there with the angels. And they're wanting people to remain in their heart frequency and to remain in their truth at this moment in time, to have discernment of the ego and have discernment of the ego within the spiritual community, knowing that there needs to be only a resonance with the heart frequency. So even if we followed people for a long time, if it's not resonating with our heart frequency, then we can't believe it or connect with it just because it's from someone that we have followed and connected with. It has to resonate with our body. So it's important, after watching things, reading things, or watching videos, to connect in with our heart and ask if that frequency, it matches what we want to know at this moment in time, if the message aligns to our highest heart. So I definitely feel that right now there is some sense of balance. The elements are being used right now, and it is a sense of the feminine energy. The divine feminine energy is being called upon at this moment to mother and stabilize the inner children that are presenting on earth. So I really think we need to step into the divine mother, step into the divine feminine, step into the divine empress, the wild woman self, and all aspects of the divine feminine, to know that there is no shame in embodying a true divine feminine being, because there has been a lot of invertations of the feminist agenda to take us away from the divine power of the divine feminine. And that's not to say that I do not believe that women should have their rights and their independence to be their own sovereign free being. However, as everything has been targeted, the feminist agenda, in my opinion, is one that has also been targeted to create a divide between the feminine and masculine energy. And at this moment in time, I think what the collective needs is the divine mother and the divine feminine empress to stand in her sovereignty and stand in her fire and stand in her divine power, whilst bringing that stability, safety, and love to navigate through this shift and the transitions that are coming. So that's a really beautiful message. I do think there's multiple messages coming here, so we'll just tap in a little bit more. But this message that's coming through next is about the star children that are coming in, and which is interesting. As we mentioned, the star people, the star card has come out. So this, I think this is definitely connecting. The card I was channeling in from before was the world. So I was channeling in with the lion energy and the angels and Mother Earth and Gaia and the divine feminine and the balance between that. And this star energy that's coming through is the divine star beings that are working through the new children as well. So they're almost hybrid human star children, rainbow children, and they really bring the life essence and the connection. So they're just going to be magical and next level. I am blessed to be carrying a beautiful little rainbow star child who is a galactic soul that is I'm so excited to meet. But not just myself, there is many light workers I have noticed going on this journey, either again or for the first time, and really embracing this role of divine motherhood and divine parenting and divine masculine and feminine unionship, and really embodying a very powerful transition that we're seeing here in the family dynamics and in the home dynamics, which will then obviously in turn have an effect on the society, which is just creating so much more love, understanding, stability, support, connection, intuition, and power. Divine sovereignty is coming through there. So these little star beings, these little star children are coming through the waters, they're coming through the womb, they're coming through the element of the woman, and they really are coming in force at this moment in time. There is a lot of babies being born with this magical divine energy, not even being born, due this year and being born this year. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, so that's a very powerful experience that's going on there, and they're going to be connecting in with the animals and the bird frequencies as well, which is beautiful. And also, if we look at the number on the bottom of that card there, you can all see that pretty clearly. Quite interesting. So yeah, beautiful message there. So this is the next card, the King of Swords. So the way I interpret this card is the darkness that we have been facing, the oppression, the suppression from the matrix, the Kabbalic symbolisms. I shouldn't really said that word. The whole experiences that we are going through is the oppression, the suppression. And no, there is not half as much darkness as there was previously, but there is definitely a sense of fear and insecurities, and all of our pain points are being enhanced at this moment in time. And it's really difficult for us to navigate through them pain points without feeling targeted and emotional and vulnerable and overwhelmed. So I think it's really important to also remember that it's not quite time to drop as armor just yet. We need to have a sword available and ready for use if we need it energetically. We might not necessarily be ready to put down the armor in terms of just feeling fully exposed and vulnerable. I don't feel comfortable to do that personally, so that's just the way I translate that message as well. You have to excuse my dog, she's a little bit nutty. Minnie, go sit down. Go sit down. So she will just continue to make that noise and rub her head on the wall for a good 10 minutes if I do not tell her. So yes, I definitely think that represents the shift in the divine masculine and the toxic masculine. And I think that's going to be made clear as this shift makes itself more clear, as the more divine masculines choose to step into their true power and their true energy, their true divine love, stepping into their vulnerabilities and communicating and supporting the divine feminine as she steps into her vulnerability and allows that and opens to that. You know, it's really about allowing that energy to be reclaimed and to allow to see the difference of the beautiful divine feminine and masculine, and the difference between the toxic feminine and the toxic masculinity, which involves vulgar and nastiness and aggression and pain and attacks and all sorts of different lower vibrational energies which belong in the toxic side. And I think that's going to be made evident at these next few months going into next year, but mainly up until September, October time. I think what's going to be made really clear is the previous misconceptions that we may have had about people and about divine masculines and toxic masculinity. I feel like any inversions, any manipulations, any misguided information will be made quite clear in the next few months. So it's just about looking out for that. We are also leaving behind a lot of emotional trauma and baggage and a lot of victim mindset. Also using the moon's energy to do that, using the full moon and the new moon, and also being able to choose to walk away from things that aren't serving us, people that aren't serving us, patterns, but also know that it's time to let go of any victim mindset, let go of any, well, I could ask for this, I could say this, I'm feeling this. We are allowed to feel whatever we feel, we're allowed to process it and acknowledge it. But it's not about sitting in it and absorbing it and projecting it and, feeding off this vibration. It's about acknowledging what we want to take forward into the next 6 months and into the next year and what we don't, and really choosing to implement that on a physical level. By making those choices and by making those differences that we will make in the human life will allow us to create more room for that serenity, synchronicity, and divine alignment from the universal's frequency, which creates the opportunity for new love to be created and also new aspects of love. So this is also about creating new aspects of relationships that already exist, which is my current situation, different dynamics and new connections that haven't existed for a long time, new harmonious levels and new levels of connection that have been targeted for a long time, by pain points and invitations. So that's what's happening in my personal circumstance, but also in terms of new relationships that are on a synchronized connection with the heart space. So the divine masculine, divine feminine, once we are stepping into our divine feminine as women and men, we are able and opening the divine unionship of the masculine and feminine. So it is really important to do that little work within self and to also gain those little wings that are on the top and on his feet, and just connecting in with that love and the heart space and bringing to ourselves what we want someone else to bring, so that we can receive that reciprocation of love from someone else in a divine partnership. Also, this for me is the connections from the spirit world, connections from the astral realm, knowing that we are going to be joined by soul family very soon. So it does feel like we have set a beacon out and a calling out for reunions and reclamations and embodiment of soul family. So I do feel like that is something that is going to be expanding quite soon. So just creating room and knowing that it might not come straight away, it might be coming into again the September time, all around fall and August, September, October. So this may be something that is making its way towards us throughout the summer and into this ending of next year. This year, sorry. So I definitely think, and the reason why that came through is the pumpkins and the root vegetables on the floor. It really seems like a harvest celebration. So almost waiting and anticipating, knowing that we don't have to worry that they are coming. They are coming. It's just about allowing the soul family to make their way to us in the right and aligned timing and the synchronized flow. So I hope that message resonated with you guys, and the messages that were brought forward. For me, they really resonated in terms of what's going on in the collective and what we kind of need to focus on a little bit moving forward. I also pulled 3 from my affirmation deck that I created, and we have got very different ones today. I am able to find and locate anything I am looking for. I am guided and assisted in the right direction. Today, I am perfectly located to the right direction. So that's a really beautiful card to know that we are able to find anything we seek, whether that's clarity, whether that's connection and wisdom, or whether that's simply finding our car keys or our passport that we have lost for our holiday or whatever that is. It is knowing that we create our reality and we can tap into any frequency and also knowledge from the astral realm. So sometimes we just need to close our mind, go up to the astral realm and retrieve that information, knowledge, download that into the consciousness and come back into the body. That is a really great technique in terms of being able to access information from the Akash. So yeah, just know that you're always located and assisted in the right direction by higher self and by other external things, but we just have to ask for the guidance. I am infinitely connected to each one of my crystals. Each one has a role in my journey. Today I am gaining with or working with crystals. So that's a really beautiful card. Again, it's in terms of being able to connecting with the crystal energy and use the crystals for specific intentions. So again, as we may be looking for something, set a certain crystal or pendulum, a crystal pendulum, to find that certain something and to be able to connect in with where that is, so that you can be using combination of multiple skills: intuition, connection to higher self, and crystal energy. So I am contributing today to my vision of helping animals. Today I am in tune and I am connecting with animals. So that's a really, really beautiful card, and it's very close to my heart because I'm a deep, deep animal lover. I have 5 rescue animals myself and a family full of rescue animals. But I think what we can do now is maybe just close his eyes for a quick second and just connect in with his heart space. And just do 3 big deep breaths in and release. And what we want to do is just send a beautiful colour from his heart space, green, pink, and just send that out of his heart, plugged into source. So we're receiving divine source energy into our crown. And then what's beaming out of our heart into an animal in front of us. That can be any animal, and that animal represents the whole of the animal collective on planet Earth. So as we send love to that one being, it is being ricocheted and being received by all animals. And we're receiving that on a multidimensional level of love and heart space frequency. And they feel that with such love and power. So as we've sent that love now and we come back into his physical body and connect in, we've really helped that collective of animals today to just help transmute and shift off any pain, grief and sorrow they may have been carrying. So just know that we can always do that for anything as long as we're tapping into source energy and we're connecting in with that source frequency so that we're not using any of our own energy to be drained or exhausted in that way. So I think, guys, that kind of sums up what I wanted to talk about. We do have a discount code on the website, so that is Sky Dancer. I will put all the links below, but that will give you 15% off the shop and any services. And just remember not to allow yourself to be a people pleaser. to remember to focus on who is reliable and who is connecting in with your energy field right now and showing you that they want to be present, they want to be there, they want to show up and bring that love and energy. Also, release any energy that's holding you back, any patterns, programs, people, systems, anything in place that's holding you back, and reclaim your truest self, reclaim your divine femininity and masculinity, reclaim your true power, and start embodying that and living in that on a different level so that we can start to create the life that we want to live on a much higher powerful potential. So, guys, I hope that really helps you all out today. The tickets for the retreat are more or less sold out. So that's kind of done there. So that's really going to be exciting. And we will have future events coming up, and there's definitely some future online events coming up as well. And we are on with making some videos for Honey Sea Golden School. So that there is also one of my courses on there in integration. And there is a lot of obviously my one-to-one sessions and the Tuesday night development that we run as well. So if you need anything, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Look after yourselves, protect yourselves as always, and make sure when doing any energy work that you are sending yourself energy from source into your physical body so that you're not using your own energy. For any like little short videos, clips, and things like that, please check out the TikTok, which is Star Spirit Light, and any other social media that you'll see in the description below. If you do have any questions, please get in touch on the website or on Telegram to be able to let you know what's coming up, updates, or to answer any questions that you guys might have. So look after yourselves, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for being patient, those that waited with me as I got cut off before. Goodbye, guys. Take care.